Zack he's an amateur bodybuilder, and one day he was squatting real heavy and he felt and heard a pop in his lower back / his glute, like this area right here. So initially when he came in, I suspected that he had maybe done something to one of the discs or the vertebrae in his low back, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So we've been clearing out a lot of the stuff in his belly, a lot of the anterior structures down into the hip, his quads, and then we've also done a lot of the glute stuff, a lot down into the hamstrings as well. One set of nerves that I've treated on him that seems to have given him a ton of relief, and that's the superior cluneal nerves, which come down over top of the posterior part of our iliac crest and onto the top of the glute or the butt cheek. And that seems to be where he was getting his pain, or also in that SI area. So as we've cleaned that up, he's made his way up to about 95% better. And realistically, I mean, he's really almost ready to be released, but because he has such an intensive load and he works out so much, he comes in to get cleaned up and just maintain where he's at.
What do you feel?
Just stretching the hamstrings.
0 to 10 on the stretch.
Like a 5.
What do you feel?
Nothing much, honestly. Maybe a little bit of a tightness up in the upper or lower hamstring.
Lower hamstring?
Yeah.
Out of 10?
Like a 2, not much.
And R2 is 4 fingers. What do you feel?
Just stretching the top of the quad.
Top of the quad?
Yeah.
Out of 10?
Like a 4, I'd say, at most.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been working so much back here because a lot of his pain was more, you know, in this local area of this posterior hip and low back. But he does get really tight hips, and just with the way we know that the psoas and the low back and the hips all kind of work in conjunction with each other, we have to make sure that this stays nice and loose as well, so he's not being pulled forward, or, you know, his posture is compromised. And even now getting in here, a lot of this feels so much better than when you first came. He's got some stuff in here. So right now I'm just palpating into his iliacus, which is the muscle that covers the inner portion of the pelvic bowl. So just find my depth for where the access is the best. I can sink into this tissue without too much struggle. It feels like right here. Tension on it. Cat, go ahead and bring that leg back. Really good sliding. Drop the knee down. Good. So this right here is the LFCN, or the lateral femoral cutaneous nerve. It's a lateral branch of the femoral nerve, and this comes down and goes through over top of that iliacus, which I just treated. I'm a little bit higher up in his belly here, and he seems to be like it's kind of stuck. Not kind of stuck, it's definitely stuck. So I sink into it. Here. Tension set. Go ahead, Cat. Same thing, bring that leg back, and then you're gonna drop the knee down. Good. 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 Good breathing, buddy. Yeah. So as I get in, because
I felt that one go down on top of my quad too.
Yeah, so just same thing. That femoral nerve comes out of the spine, travels down through the belly, down through the hip and groin area, and then into the quad. So the fact that we just pushed on that gives me good indication I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And because we don't treat this side that often on him, he does have some stuff, because primarily a lot of the stuff he was feeling was on the left. So I'm in that iliacus again. And he's got more stuff on this side, actually. Go ahead and bring that leg back. And then, Cat, you're gonna drop the knee down when you get back. Good. It's much, much softer. So we've got one past L4 femoral nerve at psoas, and that was moderate to severe. And we've got one pass at just the iliacus, and that was moderate. And I'm gonna hit one more pass here. He's got some stuff on his LFCN as well over here. Go ahead. Drop that knee down. Good.
I started doing, or been able to do RDLs too.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, not too heavy, not too crazy. It's on Smith machine.
Okay.
But still, it's definitely something.
So these are all things that when Zach first started coming in, and even up till recently, he hasn't been able to do without too much pain or just the inability to do. So now he's increasing his load. He's still at 95%. So, you know, him just coming in for this maintenance work while he's especially, you know, going through these different periods of training is going to be important for him. But the fact that he's maintaining 95% is really good, and he's being stingy with that extra 5%. So.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You could definitely argue 100%.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Good. The thing is that Zach has a heavy workload, literally. He lifts heavy weights, and he understands that this adhesions problem, you know, starts long before we have this chronic pain. So for him, knowing that he's under such an immense amount of load and that he's, you know, he's felt what adhesions like and what it does to him, for him to stay on top of it now is going to make almost everything easier for him as he gets older, because, you know, he's not going to have all of this limitations, this fascial glue that a lot of us get that causes this chronic pain with overuse and overload. So he has a lot of overuse and overload because he's constantly training. So for him to stay on top of it now is going to help negate problems down the road that compensation patterns could develop, or, you know, this heavy load that he has, probably issues with his low back, the discs, all of that stuff. By releasing this adhesion through, you know, time and longevity and staying maintained, he's giving himself a better chance at not having long-term chronic pain or injury. So right now I'm just going between his hamstrings and I'm trying to locate his sciatic nerve. It's very tense back here. When was the last time you did legs, buddy?
Saturday.
All right, so you're a little ways
Oh wait,
out.
what's today?
Today is Thursday.
Oh no, Wednesday.
So Zach also, he had a nice direct route to us because his mom is from the community and knows Dr. Chris really well. And she's an absolute sweetheart. Shout out to her. Go ahead and bring that leg back. Really, really good. 3, 2, 1. Nice. So Greg, I'm not sure if you had a chance to get me palpating before, but if you saw when I was kind of pressing into the hamstrings, it was a lot harder for me to get in. The muscle wasn't as supple and soft, and now just with those 2 passes alone, his hamstring has way more give. Zach, come on up for me. Go ahead and touch your toes for me. So he was at the floor before. How is that tightness in the back of the hamstring there?
Definitely a little less.
I know we did only the one side.
I give it like a 3. I definitely still feel the right side, but definitely like a 3.
Yeah, so same thing, you know, just as your load continues to go up, we're just gonna continue to monitor how the adhesion is affecting you and where the tightness is, and same thing. I think once a week right now, as far as like maintenance goes, is really good for you. Do you have any questions for me, comments, concerns?
I don't think so. What do you think of me deadlifting this week, possibly?
Go light.
Yeah.
Same as you did with the squat. Go light, test it out. You know, don't go 100% on the first go.
No.
Yeah,
No PRs.
nice and light, good warm up,
Yep.
and maybe just like 1 or 2 sets. Don't overload it, because once we start getting to that fatigue point, that's when injury and your forearm starts to go and all that jazz. So awesome.
Thank you.
My man. Awesome.